Hi, I'm Kathy Magnuson from Wildwood Learning, and I'm here today with Thrive Talk number 6, which is E is for expectations. We're going to be talking about how you can help your team to set their own personal expectations and goals based on their skills and on their personal awareness. So, I'm from Wildwood Learning, and in Wildwood Learning, we help parents and teach them how to create personal education and career plans with their teen. And part of creating that personal education or career plan is to help your teen to set expectations. Not your expectations as a parent, but their expectations for themselves. It came to my awareness that a vast majority of U.S. youth have a high expectation for themselves for the future. Gallup did this poll where 9 out of 10 teens responded that they believe or agree that they have a great future. The same amount of teens also responded believing that they'd have a great job in that future. Wow, I love that positivity that teens can bring. However, their expectations and the reality in the future don't match. And I believe that's because of three different factors. One is their natural talents. They're just not aware of their natural talents that they possess. I'm not talking about athletic talent or talent to play music. I'm talking more about psychological, personality, and also relationship type talents that they might have that they can build upon. These can, when developed, can turn into strengths of theirs. Also, they're at a developmental stage where they don't realize that what they choose to do or to not do can have a profound effect on their future. They can they are thinking in that short term, and our culture really helps emphasize that um, short-term awareness and short-term goals and short-term gratification. So it's no wonder that at their age and in our culture that they really think on that short-term level. Also, they don't really have a great knowledge about themselves. They're not aware of what maybe some skills they have or already possess, what their interests are, or even a passion of theirs, what they might like to serve, who they might want to serve, and how they might want to do that, what their values are. All of these things, they're not really always aware to any level of what is it about themselves. It was really interesting that in the study that was done, that they took students and asked about their purpose in life. And as a teacher, you see students who are handing in their papers on time. They are not the ones that are getting in trouble. But when in the study they digged a little deeper, they really found that these teens don't really know what their purpose is, or how to track that purpose, or how to even go further. I really saw this too when I was at a church youth gathering and we were in a circle facilitating. The facilitator asked a question and the of teens that were 10th grade on up. What are some things that really are stressful or worrisome to you? And I was surprised as far as how many kids went around the circle talking about, I don't know what to do after I get out of high school. How am I going to choose the right college? What kind of job do I want? Really, all this anxiety and fear about the future. So, how can we give that power back to our teens and help them set expectations and goals that are based on their talents, their developmental stage, and also on a knowledge about themselves? So, we were also doing some research because I love research, that's one of my strengths. And I was looking, and they have done studies where they're creating this possible self. And when you help a teen create their possible or future self, it gives them an awareness, and especially if it's a positive possible future self. And then after having teens create this for themselves, they tracked them in the study. And the study showed that those teens that created that possible future self in a positive way really had that increase in motivation, increase in learning, their behaviors that were negative behaviors went down, and they found that this was something that really helped those teens out to see what would be the possibilities for them. However, that wasn't quite enough. When they added in talking or allowing the teens to think about what are some of those experiences that they need, which are called gateway experiences, to reach that possible future self, and what are they going to do when they come into that fork in the road or an obstacle in that decisions that they have to make. As I always tell my kids, and they've heard this often, no decision is a decision. If you're not going to make a decision for your life, or your teen needs that help in making that decision for his or her life, really life's going to make that decision for you, or somebody else is going to make that decision for you. So I'm going to take you through an activity that you can do with your teen. You can place this at any age in the future. You could do 1 year in the future, 3 years in the future, 5 as adults. And since we're going through it together, I'm going to ask you to think 10 years in the future. So just close your eyes, or you can look down at your computer or phone, whatever you're watching this on. Clear your mind. Take a few deep breaths. And we're going to think about you. Think about yourself 10 years in the future. And as you're thinking about yourself, think about who's around you. Who are your family, your friends, the co-workers, or the people that you're surrounding yourself with? Where are you living? What does that look like for you? What kind of environment is there? How about your hobbies or things you're doing for fun? What are you doing in those leisure times? What are those things that you're working for, your causes? In other words, what are you doing to make this world a better place? And what does your day look like? Are you working at a job? What are you doing in that job? Are you volunteering? Are you at home? What do your daily activities look like in that possible future self? So as you think about that and what that looks like, I want you to just slowly open your eyes or lift your head up, come back to the present moment. And if you feel need, you can stop the video here and write those things down for yourself, because the next part is going to be talking about a few other things. So next is the gateway experiences. What are the things that you're going to need to do, or the experiences that you're going to need to have? Not so much do, but the experiences you're going to need to have to get to that possible future self. So in each of those questions that I asked, go through and look at that and think about what are going to be those possible or those gateway experiences you're going to need to have. And then, what are some potential obstacles that you see? At each of those different experiences, what could be potentially some obstacles that you might have to make decisions about or that you will have to work through or around or overcome? So great. Now you have kind of a roadmap for that future to think about the next 10 years. Of course, this needs to be broken down into smaller pieces. And especially for your teen, you can take it and they could create a roadmap of it or, some way to display it as far as like maybe a vision board or what experiences they want to have so that those are out there. So there's lots of different ways to do that. But in helping them create these possible future selves, it really allows them to see what their goals are and to see what things they have to do right here, now, and choices that they need to make to reach that possible future self. Because, they don't realize that what they do or they don't do in the here and now can really affect sometimes in the future and what that future looks like. So take this experience, use it with your teen, see what they think. You can play this video for them. Remember, it doesn't have to be 10 years. It could be just like next year. Or what do you want it to look like in 5 years? Or when you graduate. So that they get an idea of how they can create that possible future self for them. Because we really want teens to think forward, but to act now. And as we know as parents and adults, in helping our teens to do that, we can help them to see what that possible future self is. Because before you know it, that possible future self, be it that's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road, will be here in no time at all. So thank you very much for joining me for the Thrive series. If you haven't seen the rest of the videos, go back, and they're all here on the YouTube channel, the Wildwood Learning YouTube channel. If you would like to be on the Wildwood Learning and receive the Wildwood Learning newsletter and these videos in your inbox, go ahead and go over to the Wildwood Learning website, which is www.wildwoodlearning.com, and you can download the Thrive checklist from there. It also gives you a link to all the videos that go along with the checklist, and I will be making some more information, content, videos along the way. Also, if you'd like to have a personal conversation with me, go ahead and email me at the website, fill out the contact me page, and we will set up a time where you and I can personally chat about how I can help guide you in helping your teen to thrive in creating a personal education plan or a personal career plan. So thank you so much. I love to hear your feedback, and I hope to see more of you here on the Wildwood Learning YouTube page.